One of the biggest things people do to these cars is exhaust, obviously. And it really just depends on what your personal preference is. Do you want something extremely loud, slightly loud? Do you want cats? Do you not want cats? Do you want straight pipes? There's a lot of different variations and configurations, and even materials. And the material of the exhaust definitely can change the way that it sounds, also the weight. So there's a million ways to slice and dice this. Really depends on what you're after. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this exhaust here in a little bit. The exhaust I chose was from a company called Gwapotech, okay? So if you go to gwapotech.com, I believe it is, there's this exhaust for the 360. They have headers, cats, full muffler and everything, tips, everything like that. Pretty much a full bolt-on system. And it sounds really, 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 really good when you're on it. It sounds like an F1 car. It's that F1 sound you're looking for, okay? They also offer a straight pipe version as well. I didn't opt for that because I don't want to, I really don't want to piss my neighbors off. And I also kind of want to be able to enjoy it. Maybe later on, I'll see if I can order that part directly from them, just the straight pipe portion of it later, if I'm going to be able to swap it out, you know, if I'm just going to run it around that way without cats and stuff like that. But I can't imagine that's super expensive or even really hard to make one on your own. So that's an option. You can order it with straight pipes as well. So just keep that in mind. There's other exhausts out there. They can go all the way up into 10, 12, 15 grand, okay? It just really depends on what your configuration is that you want, what the material is, what you're really going for. I like to cruise my car around, drive it and kind of beat on hard every once in a while, but I also like to kind of just put it around too when I'm not obviously beating on it, right? It just depends. If you're gonna run it on track or if you're just gonna cruise it around, what exhaust you're gonna really want. So with that in mind, this one runs about $4,500 US, 46, somewhere in there, right around that range, okay? I don't know if that's gonna change because of tariffs and other things, potentially, maybe, maybe not, but that's how much it cost when I ordered it about a month and a half, 2 months ago, roughly. Anyway, that's about how much it cost me. It was about $4,600. So really not that bad, and it's stainless steel. So it shouldn't rust, right? And it should be pretty decent. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and take a look at it. Looks a little bit like the box might have taken a beating here. It's not too terrible though. Hopefully nothing's dented inside, none of the, like the muffler or the cats or the headers or anything like that. But I've got a razor blade here. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. I haven't unwrapped the headers or anything like that, but take a look here. These gaskets were out of the bag. I assume they went here. These got kind of mangled up, and these, I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. I should be able to flatten these gaskets, hopefully, and get their shape back. I don't know. That's the only thing I see so far that could be kind of an issue. These are, I don't know what these are. Oh, these are like, O2 extenders to help with check engine lights and check engine codes for like catalyst. These go in the rear behind the cats, so I'm assuming that's going to help. Anyway, so we have that. That's 2 of those. That's good. We've got our gaskets here, but this one, it doesn't look terrible. I think it's totally usable. Some hardware. Hopefully everything is in there. This, I don't even know what this is. We're gonna find out. Let's see. This looks like a valve controller for the muffler, which I did not expect to get this. I didn't even know this was included with the kit. That's pretty awesome. I'm assuming these are fobs. Vacuum tees. cigarette lighter to run or charge this thing, I guess, or not charge it, but power it up. That's exactly what this is. This is a valve controller with vacuum line. That's pretty awesome. I had no idea that I was gonna get that. I did not expect that to be part of the kit. So that's really, really awesome. One thing I did request on this when I talked to them was I wanted regular standard tips. I didn't want it to look any different from stock. I wanted it to look like a stock exhaust. I'm just a fan of that. I like it looking stock. On the headers though, let me get my razor blade. Let me see if I can open one of these real quick. On the exhaust headers, I told them to go ahead and I wanted heat wrap on the headers because they obviously they look really, really cool when they're not heat wrapped, but let me see if I can take this off. I have all of the packaging off this one header. Okay, now this doesn't look super, super fancy, but I asked them to do heat shielding on the headers because for those of you that know, basically what happens is if you don't have heat shielding on your headers like this or some sort, however you're gonna do it, you will start melting stuff in the engine bay. So since your headers are very close to the fuel tanks, probably a good idea to have that there. This looks fantastic so far, guys. I'm very impressed with this. Obviously this is, you know, you're not gonna see the actual raw material, but inside the ports, this is very high quality. This is done very, very nicely. I'm very impressed. This is high quality stuff, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap the rest of the stuff and check it all out, make sure everything's good. And I'll lay it all out here and show you guys in just a second. Everything's unpacked. My first impression of this stuff, very high quality. Packed really, really well. With the exception of the gaskets that I showed you guys earlier here. This stuff could have been packed a little better. However, that's really not the end of the world. I don't think I'm gonna really have a problem with that. I can flatten those gaskets back out and I think those donut gaskets gonna work fine. The only other thing here is that muffler, a little bit heavy, but I know the original one is kind of heavy too. And I don't have the original one on my car anymore. It's actually a tubey muffler, but it's kind of too quiet for my liking. And this is going to fix that. This is going to give me the F1 sound that I want. And also allow me to control the valves with that valve controller, which I didn't realize I was gonna get. So when you look on their website, it lets you choose headers or basically the cats and the muffler and everything else. It doesn't give you a choice of the valve controller there. It doesn't even mention it that I saw. And it doesn't really mention your exhaust tips. However, when you email them and you go to order this stuff, you just tell them, hey, I want this. I want these exhaust tips, or hey, I want heat shielding on my headers, right? I didn't even know they did the heat shielding on the headers. Now I know the cats definitely come with it because you can see it in the pictures when you go to look at them online. So they look great. On the inside of these cats, it actually even looks like, I don't know if we'll be able to see it here or not, but there is some stuff built in to hold the substrate or the catalyst in there with little teeth or tabs. I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not, but it also has obviously the spots for the front and rear O2 sensors and the cat temperature ECU probe, or the EGT probe, basically. So it has everything you need here. My first impression, however, though, is this looks great. I think this is going to perform really, really well. It's going to get rid of my pre-cats that are in my stock headers. It's also going to get rid of the restrictive stock cats. And the muffler is going to be a lot louder, which is nice. You'll be able to hear the exhaust in the engine. And it also has all the provisions here, it looks like, for, you know, running the air injection system. It has obviously valves, the valve muffler setup. It has everything you need. This should be completely 100% bolt-on. So I'm very happy already with it out of the box. It looks really, really good. I just need to bolt it to the car now. So here's a little preview of kind of what these all look like. You guys can kind of get an idea of the quality of this stuff. Welds are pretty nice. It doesn't really look like there's any burrs in the intake ports, really. Everything looks pretty decent. I mean, you have some of this, so I guess you could have ground a little of this off, but there's probably a reason for it like this, to siphon with the draft, you know, of the exhaust going in the ports and taking it out with it, or mixing with it rather. Headers, obviously you can see they've got heat wrap on them. Catalysts, I kind of just rolled them up here, but you can kind of get an idea. Everything's heat wrapped, or heat shielded rather. But this is super high quality stuff, guys. The tips are really, really good, high quality. Some of I mean, it feels very durable. The muffler itself feels a little bit heavy, I'm not gonna lie, but then again, muffler on this thing, which I'll have to open it real quick. Muffler on this thing is a 2B muffler. There are no valves in this one. Normally they're right about here, somewhere in here. So this one should be pretty easy to take off. This one's in good condition. It's just not loud enough. It doesn't produce the sound I want. It just feels like it muffles and chokes the motor, to me anyway. For some of you guys out there, you guys might enjoy this one, but I may actually end up throwing this one up for sale. So if this is something you guys are interested in, I might actually figure out a way to package this up nicely. And better if you're local, you know, I might be able to, you know, cut you a good deal on it. So I'm no longer gonna really need it, obviously, but when we go ahead and install this, probably gonna have to take out the air box, move the coolant tank up again, lay, you know, a blanket on top of there so we don't scratch up the intake manifold. Airbox comes out. I really hope I don't have to take the K-frame out. I mean, I shouldn't have to, but I probably will. But I'm gonna have to take off the under tray on the bottom so that I can go ahead and get access to stuff from the bottom as well. So that means that this thing here is gonna go up on ramps again, as you saw in some previous videos I did. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for another video. We're gonna go ahead and install this, and then I'll drive it around and give you my impressions and let you guys hear it. I'll try to get a couple different shots. I'll see if I can get hopefully a microphone at the back here somewhere, like maybe by the license plate area, so that I can let you guys hear what it really, really sounds like. Obviously, I can get some footage inside the car so you can hear it as well, but I'll catch you guys on the next one.